I'm Tyrone Keys with The Wealth Hustle in association with Leading Maryland, and we're here for our first interview, our inaugural interview in our Tycoon interview series, and we're here with Ed Hale. And Ed, I just want to thank you for agreeing to this interview, and appreciate everything you've done for me in terms of mentorship, and also for the state as a whole. Now we're sitting in the SECU Arena, State Employees Credit Union Arena, here in Towson, and your Baltimore Blast, Ed is the owner of the Baltimore Blast soccer team. Tell us about how you got started, because your story is not, like you just alluded to, you weren't, you didn't have the silver spoon and all that kind of stuff. You actually went out and you built these companies. Can you tell us how you got started?
Sure. I was mentored by a man named Tony Tranchitella when I got out of the Air Force. I worked for an equipment rental company. We rented truck trailers like to Giant Foods and Walmart, UPS, people like that. And I worked for him, and he had a branch in Baltimore, and he was from New Jersey, and he told me to, you figure it out, a better way to do things, and he gave me a little bit of latitude, so I did. The company was extraordinarily successful. He made me a vice president of the company. I was in my mid-20s, and I was making some significant money, even by today's standards. And he sold the company because it was successful. Mm-hmm. And I went to work for this new company that had taken it over. And here's where it all began. I went up to Staten Island to see, I took the train up, took the ferry over to Staten Island to rent trailers to this company that went to Puerto Rico with all, Puerto Rico gets everything imported from the United States. So I went there and I rented them, I think it was like 1,500 trailers. It was a significant deal. And while I'm sitting there in Staten Island, they said, you know what, we got a real problem. We don't know how to go from Penn Central Railroad in Lombard Street in Highlandtown to Canton, which is like 2-3 miles.
Okay.
I said, well, what's the problem with that? Well, we don't know anybody that can do it. Can you help us out? So I'm taking the train back. I started my trucking company the next morning.
Okay.
So, I filled a need.
Mm-hmm.
I paid 65% of whatever I got from this Puerto Rican line. I paid 65% of that to the truck drivers.
Okay.
And I made so much money doing that. It seems like it's a little route, but I made so much money doing it, and I just got started from there.
Okay.
It ended up, I opened up 13 more locations from Jacksonville, Florida to Boston, Columbus, Ohio, Cleveland, all over, and got up to as many as 500 trucks.
Wow. Okay. So you, as you said, you identified a need, and then you addressed that need, and it was pretty much, you obviously found that in other areas similar needs existed, and you filled those needs, and you made a big business out of it.
Yeah, there was a void created that was in existence at that point. There was nobody that could really do that. It was so insignificant that nobody wanted to do it. Mm-hmm. The next phase of my trucking business was we had a monster snowstorm in 1977. I started my trucking company in 75.
Okay.
In 1977, it was a monster storm, and we were out of business for like 2 weeks because it was such a heavy snowfall. So I figured, let's go south. I went to Norfolk and opened up down there.
Okay.
Then I opened up in Charleston, Jacksonville, Savannah, Georgia, in the south, and then it just expanded from that point because we couldn't deliver any of our loads in the snowstorm.
Right. So you kept an open mind in terms of, okay, if a challenge presents itself here, we got winter weather, we're going where there's no winter weather, and we'll keep it moving.
That was it. If it looks like there's a void created or an opportunity, you size it up and see what it's going to cost to rent a place, hire people, insure it, and then run it.
Right.